Corporate Recruiter here to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. This is a resume of a full-stack software engineer. So, what we're going to be looking for in a full-stack software engineer is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. If you do not have TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, you are probably going to get rejected. That is in almost every single job. I don't care how basic it is, you want the basics. And that goes for everybody. The basics are what you want in your resume. Then we're going to look for Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, and I will probably also put in React into that. SQL, API, RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and then .NET or Python or Java, and bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. So, can I find those in 20 seconds? If I can, they pass. That is how long recruiters have. So, and start. Okay, you're graduating way too late. Formatting is not good. Use JavaScript, Python, Fast APIs, HTML. Be a liminal recommendation system. Why? Applied Power Query. What do you mean applied? I don't care about that. Configured Prometheus, Grafana, and Loki. Don't care. Developed Bash automation scripts. Don't care. Nothing. Set up a CI/CD pipelines, and that's all I got. So this does not pass, and I'm going to explain why. A, you did not have enough. Flat out, you did not have enough. I need 75% of these to move you forward, and I only found about 50, give or take. The second is the difference between a keyword and a qualification. So recruiters and hiring managers are looking for qualifications and not keywords. This is the part that you need to differentiate. So these are keywords. So now you're about to ask me, what did you just say? You said you're not looking for keywords, but these are keywords and you didn't find them. Well, a qualification includes a keyword, but it is not entirely the keyword. So a qualification, which we are looking for, is the keyword. Again, this is a part of it. How you did it, the reason and result of you doing it, and where you did it. If it does not contain those four things, unless it's a certificate or a degree or years of experience, it is not a qualification. And here is why you listed out the keywords, but you didn't tell me how you use the. You did not tell me the reason or result of you doing this, right? So you said use JavaScript, Fast, Python, blah 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 to build a liminal recommendation system. That is where you did it. It's under a job or an internship. That's fine. You showed me what it is, JavaScript, Python, how you did it to build a liminal system, but you didn't tell me the reason or result of it. And that's why this doesn't count as a qualification. So yes, you have the keywords, but you don't have the qualification. So I'm going to need you to tell me why you did it, right? Literally that's all I kind of need. Then we go down to the second one. Again, to process external data to save hours of manual work a week. I'm not asking, did you save hours? I'm asking you, what was the reason for that? Also, I don't think I need Power Query. You need to be very specific, and you want to avoid numbers whenever you can in bullet points. The exception to that are sales and high-level managers. They need numbers. But if you are a software engineer or an accountant or a nurse or another recruiter, you want to avoid numbers as much as you can, because who cares that you save 10 hours of manual work per week? What if your job is to save 12? Well, you already failed and showed you're not qualified. You don't want these numbers. And the reason and result you did something is not necessarily a percentage or a metric. It's the reason or result of you doing it. So then we get down to here, and again, this does not matter, right? Nothing in here is what I would be looking for. I do note that this is Canada, and these are US-based qualifications, so some of these might be different. I cannot be in every market. But yeah, that is part of your problem. So, to summarize, your formatting is not great. It looks like it's almost mine, but it's not. Your qualifications you don't show, and you don't have enough of them even if you did write those correctly. And then there's two other problems as well. One, you put open to relo. That's almost an immediate yellow flag. You cannot say open to relo unless the job description says that. That is a giant yellow flag. What you want to say is moving to X by Y date can move earlier sooner. If you do not have that, they will probably reject you, because taking on a reload candidate is always too risky for the hiring team unless they already have the systems based on it. And the fourth is you probably applied too early. Not many companies can hire more than 3 months in advance. There are some new grad roles that do, but they're more of a minority. So those are the main reasons your resume is not getting anything. But let me see what you wrote, which was based in Canada, graduating in May 2026, looking for full stack engineering roles, currently applied to a few new grad positions, but I haven't heard back from any. Yes, because of those things that I have stated. I liked your format, but I wanted to keep the horizontal lines between sections, so I've kept those. What are your opinions of this? You literally just told me, you told me to do something X, but I didn't like it, so I did Y. Of course I'm not going to like it. You directly knew what you were doing wrong, and you did it anyway because you thought it looked prettier. It's not. It's harder to read, which is the point. This is the formatting that will get you a job. This is how you do it. It's on my website. It's free. The link is below in my link tree. But this is boring for a reason. And this is not this. So again, this is slightly off. This is the line under here. You should not include this. So again, there are issues with this in formatting, but a bigger point is not the formatting, it's the bullet points. So I obviously don't like these lines. You know my response, like, hey Lee, you told me not to do something, but I did it anyway. What's your opinion? Not good. Thanks and cheers. So yeah, these are the reasons that you're having trouble, right? And these apply to almost every resume. This is not just software engineers. But if anybody ever needs more help, they can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. Below, the link is there. And please send this to your friends and family that need help, because having a bad resume impacts your chances of getting a job. I wish we lived in a world where that is not the case, because I will tell you right now, as a recruiter who reviews tons of resumes are terrible at determining how qualified you are. They're just garbage at it, but there's really no other basis to do it. So I want to make sure everybody has these skills so that they can get the job we need. Now let's go to the next resume. This is a full stack software engineer intern. So if you've noticed, the qualification list is different. What I want in an intern is actually going to be different than I want in a full-time role. The exception to this is masters and PhD level interns. They want a little bit different stuff. So what we're going to be looking for in an intern is degree, a basic knowledge of the tech stack. So in this case, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, maybe another backend language, SQL, and RESTful APIs. The ability to work well with others, and take direction and criticism. Those are what every single intern needs, not just software engineers. The problem is almost no intern ever puts the last two things of being able to work with others and take direction and criticism. They focus entirely on 30% increase and 20% decrease and 300 hours in milliseconds, and it's bad. Stop doing it. So let's see if I can find what I need in 20 seconds. And do I have this person's ratio? They have 100-to-1, so this is not good, but it could be a lot worse. That means I'm expecting this to be bad, but not a burn it and redo everything level of bad. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds and go. Okay. Degree, good. Can't use anything here. Developed a Next.js TypeScript, good. Deployed versatile adjusting real-time videos, good. With on-the-fly, this is actually a really good sentence. Integrated RESTful APIs and employee SSRs. I don't care about this. Don't care about this. I do care about this. Publish an event app, continue into AWS, Swift. Okay, so this is tracking with what I said. Some of these are very good sentences. Some of these are awful sentences. Your formatting is bad, and you don't contain anything about how you could work well with others. So, first off, I want you to look at this sentence, and I want you to say, good job to yourself. Because this is a good sentence. For real, this is a good sentence. You should be proud of yourself. This is really, really, really well written. I do have an issue with some of the stuff being not relevant, such as this or versal edge functions, but you did explain it in a correct manner, so good job. The next one is you almost had this right? Again, I don't think I really care about ISR, SSR, but this part I do. Integrated RESTful APIs and implemented ISR, SSRs, okay. But then this part, again, I don't care about this. This should be deleted, and you need to write something else. What did you create it for? Is it just to smooth user experience? I need a little more information. This, publish an event discovery app on App Store with Docker containers, fast APIs, backend deployed in AWS, and Swift UI for front end using layer and code architecture. Perfection. Again, this is your first bullet points are actually saving you. The rest of it is not. So here's how you need to fix it. 1, fix your formatting. This is hard to read. This is not. Delete the technical skill sections. They don't matter. Again, I don't know why everybody fights so hard. This is a problem of I'm not looking for keywords. I'm looking for qualifications. Then I need something about how you worked well with others and took direction and criticism. I don't see that. I don't see that at all, and I need that. That is something that is critical for an intern. If you're an intern and you do not put you can work well with others in direction and criticism and show me how you did it, I will not be able to move you forward. It's one of the most critical things for an intern, and everybody focuses entirely on the tech stack when I need to know that you can work well with others. So overall, 1 in 100, I think it's pretty accurate. What did you write? You're just looking for your first internship. Yeah, I need to know, I need you to clean up some of the bullet points. I want you to keep this one, and use this as a guide because these are fantastic, and then show how you can work well with others. Otherwise, that's going to be your big issue right there. So let's go to the next resume. This is an AI ML engineer, and their note was, please critically evaluate the phrasing and impact of my bullet points and tell me where I'm going wrong because I can't seem to get any interviews or even OAs, which is online assessments. So I am going to try and be as cruel as I can to this so that I can specifically help you out. You said you have 100 to 1, which is not good. Again, could be better. It could be a lot worse, but it's not good enough. So again, we want to aim for 1 in 50. The exception to that is if you are an international, in which case you may get a 1 in 100, and that may just be what you're going to have. Like I had a person that was getting a 1 in, I think it was like 20, 1 in 30 with my help that went from like a 1 in 500. But then after the new changes in the government law regarding H-1Bs, it went to a 1 in 100. And that's just unfortunately what you're going to have to deal with. So what we're looking for is actually not AI. And I'm going to say this is weird, but an AI engineer is not necessarily an ML engineer, but it could be. So AI engineer is usually pretty broad, but what they're asking is some specific type of AI. So I'm going to break this down more, and this is specifically machine learning and mostly only machine learning. So degree, machine learning, models, LLM, NLP, generative AI, Python, R, C++, Cloud, SQL, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Skibbity-learn, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, RAG, customer-facing, stakeholders, clients, be the subject matter expert, and a bonus for any of those stuff at the bottom, which is rare, but sometimes they do ask for it. So let's see if I can find this or not in 20 seconds, because that's all the time we have. And go. Oh, formatting I hate, but you did graduate. Wait, what? This is the wrong resume. Wait, are you an intern? Hold on. No. Yeah, this is the right are you an intern? No. Okay, so this is your first role. Okay, sorry. So I got really confused there. Let me redo this, and we'll do this 20 seconds. All right. 20 seconds. Got it. I don't know why that threw me for a loop. It's mainly because, this is the part that's throwing me for a loop is May 2027. Yeah, of course you're not getting any full-time ML roles. That's way too far off, even with a bunch of other companies. So I'm very confused. Did you mean intern? I'm going to assume that's a typo and you're looking for a full-time role, but I am so confused by this resume already because no one would hire a full-time person this far out in advance. I don't think that exists. Even internships, this would be too far. So, and go. All right. Built to production AI agents. Okay, for accounts payable. I don't care about this part. Cut infosec time. Why do I care about that? Don't care about that. This one's actually really good. Don't care about this. Archives important big data model. It's nothing I need. And okay, yeah. So, assuming this isn't an intern, which again I don't even know if I should review this as an intern or not. These are bad bullet points. So The reason you're having trouble is your bullet points are bad. You have focused on the stuff that they do not care about. This is a classic mistake that a lot of candidates make, is they fill this stuff with like transaction screening achieving 95% accuracy and 60% cost reduction. Nobody cares. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to be truthful. Is that is not what they're looking for. No one's going to hire you, or even an intern, with the assumption that, oh, they have 95% accuracy and 60% plus cost reduction. That's what we need right now. They're not. I've never seen a single software engineer manager ever say something similar to that. What they are looking for is actually a little bit of this part, right? Like, this is actually fine. Built production AI agents, okay, but then I would want to see a little bit more. Like, did you use LangChain? What else did you use besides Python? But the generative AI is at least good. And then here, I don't care about the percentages, but I get RAG agents is good, but like, you're focused on the numbers, and this is why I try to avoid the word impact, is because you're trying to show the impact of what you did. But the problem is I'm not really looking for that impact. I'm looking for the reason or result of you doing that. And I don't know why that impact is impressive. So in addition to that, I just don't kind of have enough. Like, of this stuff, you've only got about 30 to 40%. And your formatting's so bad that I was only able to get down to here. This is why you want to use this formatting, is so that I could go down longer. That's the entire purpose of formatting. The purpose of formatting is not to show the recruiter how pretty your resume is. I don't care how pretty your resume is. I care that I can find what I need in 20 seconds. And this formatting is so much harder to read in 20 seconds, especially with all the bolding. So I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board and fix this, because this can't be right. Or resubmit and tell me you're looking for an internship. But even if you're looking for an internship, the principle behind you write these is the same. Is I don't care that you did the 80% reduction in whatever. I do actually care that you secured executive buy-in. I don't really care for the number, right? You could just say secured executive buy-in for multiple POCs, which again, you need to tell me what that is. I understand that's proof of concept. They may not. By presenting technical trade-offs via Power BI dashboards and live demos to non-technical stakeholders. This is actually a fantastic sentence. I just need it to remove the number, but I need also more. So I want you to focus on A, what type of AI you're doing. B, make sure your graduation date is correct. And C, if you are looking for an intern, see the advice of the previous video on what you need to add, which is a little bit about how you work well together with others. Although, again, I really like this bullet point, and this is actually the exact way I want to see people write customer-facing stakeholder clients, with the exception of the number. You did that fantastic. If there's any data analyst watching, this is the sentence that I specifically like. So do those, and you should have a much, much better chance in January of securing, I guess, an internship or a full-time role. So let's go to the next resume. This is, I don't know. They just said senior designer. The problem is that could be a product designer, a graphic designer, a UI UX designer, a web page designer. It could also be like a electrical designer, which I don't think it was that one. So these are specifically for graphic design. It's entirely probable that if you are in another part of the design world, these are incorrect. So when you submit to me, I need you to be very specific. If you think maybe there's more information, give me that more information. If it's not relevant, that's fine. I just need more, because if this is not a graphic designer, then none of this matters. So what I need for a graphic designer is degree, portfolio, in which case there should just be a link at the top, Outlook, Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, industry. So again, like, did you do sports or entertainment or lifestyle? Met tight deadlines while managing multiple projects, cross-functional, typography, alignment, hierarchy, graphic design, animation, multimedia, fine art, anything there. So also, probably, there's like one or two tools I think I've forgotten, but again, depends on what type of designer. So, can I find that in 20 seconds, which I don't think I will, because this person has over 150 to get an interview, which is a terrible ratio. So, Peter Parker, we have to catch Spider-Man, and go. All right, good. B2B is good, but okay, visual systems marketing using, okay, but why and for what? Using Figma, I redesigned, or Project Arc. Why do I care about this? Leveraging, what do you mean you leveraged it? These are nonsense words. Increases response rate in the after digital global team, and that's it. That's as far as I went. Partly because these sentences are written poorly. Partly because you need to, like, the formatting is slightly different. If you look, there is no gap between this, and there's only a singular gap between this, which is the problem. So there should be no gap between these. These should be, like, right under each other, because you can see it here. And then here, there should be no gap here. But in regards to the bullet points, I only found about 40 to 50%, right? Like, I got the portfolio. That's good. It's up at the top. I got your degree. That's good. This is good. I actually like B2B. It tells me what it is. But then I guess I do need Adobe Creative, but like creative visual system motion marketing campaigns, but like for what? Like I want you to say used Adobe to create marketing campaigns that are X and Y. There's still not enough. Like I don't actually know if this is online. You say visual, but like maybe this is for movie theaters. Maybe this is for email campaigns. I don't actually know. You did not tell me. I still don't know what type of designer you are. I think you might be a UI UX designer based on the JavaScript and HTML, but I'm not actually sure. So let me see what you wrote. I'm a little conflicted because I know having a portfolio is important. It is. For art roles, it is. I've gotten previous jobs because of mine, and even a few from just how well designed my Instagram looks. I would love some help with that. I already got some help from somebody else, and they have been greatly helping that. I would take some notes. But lately, a lot of my former colleagues have landed new jobs with higher pay and no real portfolio. Yeah, because they're like, you need both, right? Like this is indecipherable from the layman. What do you mean you helped global teams streamline campaign workflows, reducing creative turnaround time by 22%. That's nonsense. That means nothing. This resume reads like AI wrote it. And the thing is, it may not be, but this is why you don't use AI to write your resume, is it's indistinguishable from a bad resume. If you put two resumes in front of me and you said, Lee, which one's AI? I honestly don't think I'd be able to tell you, but I could tell you which ones were bad. And AI is good at making bad resumes. So don't use AI for your resume because it's only good at making it bad. It really, really is not good. So let's see. But lately, colleagues drop jobs, and when they do have one, no shade to them, it's usually just a basic PDF with a random assortment of work. Yeah, because that's all the time we have to look at it. I wonder if I'm going to... I cannot click on your portfolio, but I wonder if I clicked on it, it's going to be absolutely incomprehensible to a layman. I take a lot of pride in presenting my best work, and creative and immersive, inviting experience on my website. Well, I mean, like, again, your resume is to get the manager to look at the website. Like, you need both, because it's entirely probable that you put this down. The manager says, okay, you have the qualifications. Now let me see the website. The problem is this is so bad that nobody can find what they need, and it doesn't matter how pretty it looks. They're going to think, oh, well, you don't know how to do deadlines, or, oh, you didn't use the right tool, so even though that's pretty, it's not something we could use. Like, you need to have this be the good, boring, basic thing that catches their interest enough for them to look at your portfolio. And that's a specific art thing. And I don't see it through here, right? Like, what do you mean leveraging? What does that mean? Like, it means nothing. I need you to write like a human and not write like corporate speak. There is a time for corporate speak, and that is emails, but not on your resume. So it just does not show me enough of what you've done. Like... I still don't know what you did. So you designed conference visuals. So is this... here's my big problem here is, I don't know what you do. Like, it reads to me like if anybody goes to a conference, you were the person that created the visuals on the back of that, and that's it. That doesn't mean it's email. It doesn't look like it's done email. It doesn't mean it's done web. I don't know, and you don't tell me. You need to be much more specific. And that's all I can do for this resume, but that is why you're failing. Next resume. This is a resume of an abomination. Yeah. I do not like this, but this person is a software engineer, and this is so confusing to me, so I'm going to have to read what they wrote first. So, hey, maybe you remember me. I asked for a review a couple of months ago. I changed the formatting. No, you didn't. This is basically the same formatting. I remember this color scheme. I don't remember anything that was on it, but you did not change the formatting enough. Anyway. It made the bullet points. I think it's better. My main target is trading firms, which I know are hard to get into, but I'd like to try anyway. This year I applied to all 20 and got no response. The problem I face is I think I got all of my already existing experience out of sheer luck. Aside from companies that are listed in the CV, almost no one else invited me to the interviews. I had 10 interviews total in my life. Okay, that would have been more important information, including 6 for companies that are actually on my experience list. I don't just mean that trading firms don't call me back, but also huge corporations ignore me. So like Meta, Amazon, Apple, I don't know what is wrong. Thanks for advice. Also a question, as a recruiter, would you rather see 2 years of long-term experience in bending spoons or a returning internship at Google next summer? Depends on the role. That's highly specific based on what they want. So, sorry for the long message. Don't be mad. No, I'm not going to be. I'm mad at your formatting. I'm not mad at your message. I prefer you all write me things like this person did because I need context. Like, this is why you get differing results is people give different advice is context matters. You cannot have a generalized one size fits all. In fact, even my formatting, right? This works for almost everything, but it falls apart on high-level director roles and people that are doing a ton of contracting. And it's not actually a great format for those people, but it's good for almost everybody else. So context matters. So what we're looking for is an intern. We already showed it, the basic knowledge of the tech stack. Let me see if I can actually find anything here. Probably not, but whatever. And go. Okay. Computer science, core experience, extreme machine through engineer, developed an NN feature in C++, Google style. It's actually pretty good. Agent space, I actually like that. Deployed APIs and created spanners. Protocol, extensive feature development, worked in its capacity. These are actually not bad bullet points. It's actually not terrible. Your formatting is atrocious. You did not change the formatting. This, I want you to tell me how these two look the same. I need to know what makes you think that this is this, because you need to follow all of it. There's a lot of advice I give that if you do not follow it, it won't work. Some of this stuff does not work in a vacuum. Like, you need all of this to make it look legible. Now, on to the bullet points, which are not terrible, actually. I kind of like them. There's too many, I think. So again, I don't think you need this much for one internship. And I actually did like this, right? Worked in a working student capacity, supporting an 18-person team following the Agile Scrum methodology. Boom. Shows you can work as a team right there. That's perfect. I like, again, your bullet points are okay to good. It's just your formatting is so awful. Now, why you're not getting anything, I mean, maybe it's the fact that you're in Poland. Like, if you're in Poland, or if you're not legally eligible to work in the United States, you can't work in the United States. And it makes sense that Google would have it because Google is global and you can kind of work anywhere. But if you're applying to, like, Jane Street, which you said you were, I don't think they're... Again, I know of Jane Street, but I don't know enough about their corporate stuff. I don't think they're global enough to be able to have an office in specifically Poland. Maybe I'm incorrect about that. Same with Citadel. Like, they're bigger companies, but they're more centrally located. So it doesn't matter how good your resume is if you cannot legally work in the area. And then we go to the actual real problem, I think, here is your formatting is atrocious. Your formatting is so bad that I was only able to get down to here. That was all I read of this resume, right? Like, if you're in college, I don't care about any of this. Why do I need this? This was high school. Like, maybe the top 1%. But again, what is a 6.0? I don't know what that means. I'm American, right? We use a 4.0 system. That I know 4.0. What is a 5.75? What is that equivalent to? So again, I need you to redo this because your formatting is bad. And I can barely find what I need here. Like, I want you to get a, like, here, ensure to the feature is easily extensible. I don't care about that. Like, this is an okay one. It shows tech, it shows you do agents, it shows you do AI. I just need more, right? I need you to make it boring. You're trying to catch my attention. And it's not going to work. Maybe in Poland it does. Again, I'm a US based recruiter. I don't know the job market outside the US as well. I have gotten people jobs in Australia, the EU, the United Kingdoms, Canada, and Africa. But sometimes my advice doesn't fully translate, and it may be that some of this stuff would really, really, really work in Poland, but does not work in the US. And that's entirely probable. So I need you to redo this, and I want you to write more bullet points like this and more bullet points like this down here, less bullet points like this or this or this. Well, I do like the API, but that's it. And fix your formatting, because it is crushing your chances. Like, if you just had a basic format, you would have more luck. But that's all I can do for this resume. I hope everybody here has taken these lessons to heart as much as they can. I want as many people as possible to get jobs, because we are in a recession in the US, and it sucks, right? Like, it's not good. If you don't have a job, you cannot afford stuff for your family. So if anybody needs more help, they can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, and the link to that is also below. And, I'm here to help you all. Send it to your friends and family that need help, and I'll see you all in the next video.